Hello and welcome to Valley News Now. I'm Adam Shalafu. Today I am joined by Billi Jo Zielinski. Billi, so nice to have you in studio.
It's so good to be here.
Well,
Thank you for having me.
Happy to have you, and very excited to talk about some of the important work that you and the Make-A-Wish Foundation of North Dakota get to be a super important part of, and impacting so many children in the area. And so let's just kind of jump right into it. It's 11/11, Make-A-Wish.
That's right.
And so
everybody should be doing it right now.
Make a wish right now, folks. Tell us what those numbers mean to you and what that means to make a wish.
Yeah, what's so fun about numbers like that, any repetitive numbers, they just kind of give you a sense of childlike wonder and curiosity and just fun. And for me, it just reminds me that there are moments that we can pause and take a break and think of what we may want to wish for. And isn't that great that we get to wish for something just for fun? What's so cool about Make-A-Wish is that we actually allow children with critical illnesses to actually wish, and that we grant them, which is really cool. And so that's part of what Make-A-Wish means to us, and 11/11 means to make a wish.
And when you talk about making those wishes come true, it truly has that magical feel to it. And so let's talk a little bit about the mission and who you serve.
You bet. Make-A-Wish. So we were started in 1980, back when a little boy, Chris Gracious, he was 4 and diagnosed with leukemia. At that time, leukemia was not where it is today, where there are a lot of cures and a lot of treatments that puts it in remission. Unfortunately, he had about 3 years to live, and his mom made every day magical, and he had a friend through his mom who was a customs agent, and he got to be a police officer for a day, and that started the whole movement. And at that time it was the Chris Gracious Make-A-Wish Memorial, which is now affectionately known as Make-A-Wish. And we are across not only the United States in 58 chapters, including North Dakota, but also across the globe, which is kind of cool that there are wishes happening everywhere. So our mission is to create life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. And we are really dedicated, and it's the privilege to do so, and our vision is to reach every eligible child and make sure that they get to make a wish so that we can grant it.
And that's such a fun wish, to be a police officer for a day. It makes me wonder, are there some wishes that are more common than others, and have you seen any wishes that have maybe been a little more amusing or unique?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I have to say that every wish is unique to them. That's what's so cool about Make-A-Wish. It's very personalized to the child. So while there are some similarities, Disney World is definitely, any type of Disney experience is a very common wish, in part because they've been amazing partners with us. So once we were initially organized as a 501c3 nonprofit, our first wish as an organization was to a Disneyland for Bobsy. So now they have granted over 100,000 wishes through Disney properties, and we are just so pleased to partner with them. Anytime a child goes to Disney World, they stay at this magical village called Give Kids the World. It has a mayor that is a rabbit.
Oh, wow.
Which is really fun. They celebrate the holidays each day of the week. And when you go to the Disney parks, you get to go to the front of the line, and when you're wearing your Make-A-Wish shirt, and that's a pretty magical experience. But what's cool about that village too is that every child and every family there are just like you, and so you are among people who just get it. And so that's a big type. I'd say my favorite that I have had experience with was Keaton. He had cystic fibrosis, and cystic fibrosis, it involves the lungs, a lot of mucus buildup in the lungs, and he had been hospitalized quite a few times during the holiday season. He wanted to selflessly be Santa Claus and go to the Children's Hospital and deliver toys and candies and just be there for kids. And it was, what I loved about it is not only the selflessness, but also the community involvement. Macy's transformed one of their dressing rooms into a little winter wonderland and made him into Santa Claus.
Wow.
His whole class came and they were wearing Santa hats, cheering him on. He had a horse-drawn carriage all the way up Broadway to the Children's Hospital, and hundreds of people lined up saying, "Happy Wish Day, Keaton." And he was just waving. It was the proudest day of his life. And he just, what was so cool is it wasn't just that he gave the gifts to the children, he actually sat down and read a book with a child. He was an amazing individual, and I carry him in my heart every day.
That is a beautiful story. Let's talk about some of the milestones of the local chapter, Make-A-Wish North Dakota.
Yeah, so we were founded in 1985. There were a couple insurance agents who had been to a conference and had seen a video about this newly formed Make-A-Wish, and it was a little girl named Stephanie who wished to see and play in snow. And we know a little bit about snow here, but she actually was able to go to Utah and see snow and play in snow. And they were so taken by the impact this made on her and her family that they came back and dedicated it to wanting to have something for North Dakota kids.
Wow.
Who are going through the very same thing. At the same time, there was a AT&T employee who was also had been at a conference and had seen the impact of Make-A-Wish that was also trying. So the three caring individuals, complete volunteers, started our chapter. They invited Arlene Nelson, who also could work at a bank, and so she could do the books and help them fundraise. And so that started us off. And our first wish was for a little boy to have his own VCR and videos in the hospital, because at that time at Merit Care, you couldn't actually have movies in your own personal room. They were just in the public space, and his condition had made him be a little bit more secluded. And so that whole wish was donated by Videoland and other generous people in the community.
One of the things I want to make sure we address, because we talked about it a little bit before we started this live stream, is in 1980 when Make-A-Wish was founded, it used to be only for terminal illness, but that has changed. Seems like a common misconception.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, it is a common misconception that we only serve children with terminal illnesses. Indeed, that's the case back in 1980 and even in 1985 when I talked to Kevin and Jerry and Diane and Arlene. They said they were granting a lot of wishes, but unfortunately having to go to a lot of funerals. But as the time has gone by and over 40 years have passed, medicine has improved, and a lot of the conditions like cystic fibrosis don't automatically qualify for our program anymore because they have a medicine that gives them and prolongs their quality of life to normalcy. And so while I wish we didn't have to exist, that would mean that, well, number one, kids wouldn't get sick, or that there are cures for everything. Until that time comes, we will be here. But I never want, a diagnosis is hard enough to receive when you receive it. It turns your life all the way upside down. Mm-hmm. And to think then if Make-A-Wish, the words maybe mean terminal to you, that could be hard to take. And so we want to make sure that people know this is a joyful thing, and it means that we're along a health journey, not necessarily it's going to be the last dying wish. I'm not going to say, Adam, that we don't lose kids. And when we do, we actually give them a celestial star in the sky so that the families remember. But we also give them memories along their health journey when we had the opportunity to be allowed in their lives.
So you talk about every wish being unique, and I imagine every process looks a little bit unique in that regard, and who might work together to bring wish to come true collaboratively. So just generally speaking, what does that journey look like along the way, and who can help bring those wishes to fruition?
So once a child has been diagnosed, it's often a child life specialist or a medical professional, school nurses, even the doctor, him or herself. Anyone in the medical profession can refer to our program. Also, if the parents know about the program, they can refer. It's a very easy form that you fill out, and then we work with a treating physician to determine eligibility. If you're a family member who knows about a child, you can also refer, or the wish child, him or herself, if you're old enough, can refer. We, out of respect for our families, those are the 4 approved referral types. Once they're referred, then we actually get to know them a little bit, but we also assign them 2 to 3 wish granting volunteers. So a team of usually complete strangers who are welcomed into their lives to discover what would give them the most hope and joy and strength during their journey. And they also find little tidbits along the way, like, what are your favorite colors? Who's your favorite sports team? You know, what do you like to do? And what they get to do is they gather all that information, because oftentimes we're a small and mighty team based here in Fargo, but it's actually 185 volunteers across the state that we depend on.
Oh, wow.
To discover that wish. Then once they discover it, they give us that, and then our wish team, our wish coordinator, and our mission delivery manager really work hard to add all those little pieces together and make the wish actually come to fruition. Then we kind of give it back to the wish granters to reveal that the wish is coming true, and that's when the wish is actually granted. But it doesn't stop there, Adam. I think what's kind of fun is that we used to just grant the wish and say, you know, there's no obligation. We're so glad that we were part of that. But now we're saying, hey, if you would like to still remain involved, we'd love to continue to celebrate more milestones as you continue your life, those graduations.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we've created more of an alumni program.
Okay.
And also have experiences that they can, like from the Red Hawks to the air show that was here, that they can do and meet each other and have more of a connection in the community through that. We also depend on vendors through that process. So those Disney World trips, we fly the whole family. And so it's so fun when we can actually leverage some in-kind donations of airline miles. So I know we have partnered with KVLY and Valley News on our miles drive, and those unused airline miles can definitely defray the cost of our wishes. Or if it's someone who has some construction background and wants to donate their time in helping us craft a play set. There's so many ways that we have people involved throughout the process. Obviously, it's also a costly endeavor. Our wishes cost about $7,500 on average, and so we depend on people who are generously giving through our events, through just checks in the mail, to online donations, however they may want to be a part of our mission. More money, more mission.
Absolutely. Teamwork, literally making the dream work there. I love that. Now, this month is Childhood Cancer Month. What does your work look like in regards to Childhood Cancer Month?
Yeah, so we actually work very closely with Roger Maris Cancer Center and the child life specialists and the physicians there and nurses there. We're so grateful for their partnership over the years. And what that actual condition diagnosis is over half of our kids. It's an automatic qualifier for our program. And so we see a lot of kids who are going through that treatment, and we want to celebrate when they ring the bell. We want to be there the whole time and help them dream. So along the way, sometimes our wishes can be in between treatments. Sometimes our wishes at the end of their treatments. Sometimes it's can be even right after diagnosis, and they just want something to get through the treatment. So what it means to us is we want to make sure that people are aware of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. But we really do lift up all those families who are going through what is a hard journey in their lives.
Now, we spoke a little bit earlier. You've had a very unique journey to your current position with Make-A-Wish. And so for everybody watching, what inspired you personally to take on this role?
Yeah, so I'd say the top two reasons that I am here today sitting with you, Adam, is I saw the impact of a wish. My husband's cousin received a wish in Maryland. He wanted a man cave. So he had a pool table and a dartboard, and Make-A-Wish had come into his basement and made this great space for this teenager who was fighting leukemia. And it was pretty magical to see. That was back in the 2000s. Little did I know that here I would come here in 2012 and have my own diagnosis of breast cancer. And after I got done fighting my own battle, and my whole family in fighting our own battle, I had done some informational interviews, and this job kind of fell in my lap as far as the opportunity. And when I knew about it, I thought, this is the reason perhaps I needed to go through my own critical illness, is to have empathy and understand what families are going through and know, oh my goodness, you need something to get you through, and just realize that there are so many people surrounding you with love and support and kindness, to get through it. So that's my unique perspective, and I think every day kids are fighting so hard against their illness. So our team and myself are coming into the office every day fighting very hard for them as well.
Now, what has been the most rewarding part of your journey with this so far?
It's absolutely the smiles. I think that each one of us say that. It's so wonderful to see them light up, especially a lot of our wishes are surprises, which is kind of fun, and they are just so amazed that people would come together through Make-A-Wish and make their dreams a reality. I think that's the most rewarding. I'd say the second, very close second, is just working with the competent, smart women I get to work with every day on my team.
That's just amazing stuff. This has been a very fun interview. I think one very important way to finish, however, is to take a look at how people can get involved, how they can help wishes come true. So I'm going to pull up the website here on the screen. And Billy, if you don't mind just showing us some key pages here. I'm seeing a donate button right here. I'll give you this mouse right here.
There are 3 donate buttons, which is kind of fun. But also you can refer a child. So if you do know a child who may have a critical illness, which is degenerative, malignant, or may put the child's life in jeopardy, please talk to that family about Make-A-Wish, and how we do restore hope with that life-changing wish. Also, if you're interested in getting involved, if you want to be a volunteer, we have different ways of volunteering, not just the wish granting volunteer, but also you could be an airport greeter. You could help stuff envelopes. You could also be a part of one of our fundraisers. Any way that you wish to be involved, or if you have, if you're a corporation and you have some employee sponsored volunteer hours, or you want to do something within your corporation or business to help wishes come true, please contact me. I think this is also important to see the impact of a wish, because you actually can read. It's not just me telling you it's a good thing. Actually, there are physicians and family members and volunteers who've said this wish experience impacted my emotional health, my physical health. It made me more apt to adhere to my treatment protocols. It is definitely the efficacy of what a wish means. Then you can learn, do you want me to click in these?
Oh, go for it, yeah.
So that's the impact of a wish. You get to see, how actually you can come together and bring that strength. But this is Dr. Patel, who actually had seen quite a difference in one of the children that he served at Nationwide Children's in Ohio. And he couldn't believe he didn't change anything, but Deshaun came back seizure-free from his wish, and he was amazed. I'd say the other thing is just, our chapter. So our local chapter, that's the other kind of misconception, is that we're a national organization. We are a national brand, but it's the local chapters in each of the states that actually grant the wishes. We're our own 501c3 nonprofit, and we are governed by a full board of directors across the state of North Dakota who are helping us make things happen. We also have various stories and ways to help, again, and even our events. If you want to know a little bit more about us, there are people that organize events for us, and we also have our own events, but this is where any of our events would happen. We have a Williston Fly-In movie coming up this Saturday. It's a free community event with a free will donation. Plans to be fun. And then Jade Presents, through his Rough Rider Ink and Iron Expo, has been supporting Make-A-Wish for many years through the sale of their auction sale of helmets that are beautifully designed by local artists.
Well, excellent. I appreciate you showing us where we can get involved there. magical stuff. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. It's probably more than you bargained for. Thanks for listening.
Oh, no, that's the beautiful thing about the
Yeah.
digital desk here is we can really get into it and
Yeah.
talk in more detail and hear some of these special stories. It's no longer 11:11, but you know, I hope it's a call to action to everyone watching that, you know, great. If you see that number, hope it's a reminder to go out and donate, and you can help impact a child's life in a tremendously positive way.
Yeah, and make a difference. Thank you so much for amplifying our mission and allowing this conversation to be had.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Adam Shelf with Billi Jo Zielinski. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.